Listen, it's not about giving the kids fucking candy all the time, right? It's not about giving them 4th and 5th place trophies. It's about building your child and nurturing your child so they can be a good person, so they can be a high quality individual. Your kids are a reflection of who you are and what you are all about. That's right, they're a reflection of you as a parent and as a human being, as an individual. If your kids act up and your kids are a pain in the ass, that is who you are. That's right. And you'll be like, no, my kids are, no. Okay? As a parent, you're accountable, and it's a clear reflection, especially when we're talking about kids under the age of 10 here. Okay? Especially when they act up and they're little brats. Look, a couple of days ago, I took out my family. We went out to a restaurant. All right. The parents decided to have the kids on a separate table about 8 to 10 yards away from them. And then they were there gathered with their friends, drinking and having a great old time. Meanwhile, the kids' tables must have been about 8 to 10 kids, was really right next to our table, kind of backing up on a booth, okay, and hitting our side. These kids were foul. They were hitting the glasses, screaming, and people are going to say, oh, they're just acting like kids. Yeah, guess what? My kids never acted like that. They had a great time, but they understood that when they were in a restaurant, they didn't act a fool. Meanwhile, these parents are out there not giving a shit about what their kids are doing. And I kind of swallowed it for a little bit. But my wife actually had the balls, man, and I told her not to. She was going to put me in a fucked up position, but she still did it. She got up, went there, and said, hey, you need to lower this volume. You need to lower it down. Okay, now keep in mind, we've had a bunch of kids. All our kids have always been well-behaved. Okay, they weren't little fucking brats. And the fact that these people, okay, and they were probably in their 30s, early 30s, most of them, okay, the millennial types, where they feel like, hey, you know what, my kids, let them freely express themselves and shit like that. Meanwhile, they're being disrespectfully loud. I'm talking about loud to the point where people around are looking, they're like, well, where are the parents? Okay? That is a fucking reflection on who you are. So if your kids, let me make this very clear, are brats, okay, they're noisy, they're loud, they're whiny, okay, that's on you. As a parent, you are lacking. So you need to do a better job. And on top of that, let me make this very clear here. On top of that, when parents detach themselves in public settings from their kids, that's a safety problem. All right, that means that they don't have eyes, and these kids were all between the ages of 6, 7, maybe 8, maybe 9, the oldest. And we moved from there. We asked the manager to move us from there. I mean, this is a packed restaurant, so it wasn't like there were a lot of tables. But they were right on it. They're like, man, yeah, I agree with you. This is bad. So this is twofold, all right? You as a shitty parent need to do a better job, okay, of raising your kids properly to have manners. That's number one. Number two, and let me be very clear, all right, the fact that you don't care about what your kids do and how they affect others in that restaurant shows me that you are a disrespectful, dishonorable person. So when I go to a restaurant, I make sure that what I do is not going to affect what other people are doing. So if they're having a good time, I don't want to go shit on their parade, right? Even when we go out as a family, and we're a loud family, okay? I mean, we're of Cuban descent, and you know, we have a bunch of kids in our family. We have kids ranging from, you know, just born a few months ago to you know, teenagers, and we're a loud family. We have fun. But guess what? We don't go in the middle of a restaurant and start screaming and doing this, right? We get a private room. We get something that is away from people. so we won't disturb. There's people out there that are maybe going on an anniversary dinner. There's some people that are going on a first date. There's some people that just want peace and quiet, enjoy the food. Why should me and my family come and shit on their parade? That's very bad. Okay, so the mentality that you don't care about other people shows tremendously that you're a selfish person. And as a parent, you lack the skill set, maybe the heart, maybe the interest to raise your kids the right way. It is because of you that we have this generation that's coming up of noisy, whiny procrastinators. So let's do this. How do we change our methodology? How do we change our mindset? Well, first and foremost, let me give you a tip here. You need to go back to your foundations and find out who you are and what you're about. You need to ask yourself, am I a person of honor? Am I a person of integrity? Do I care and love my kids? Do I want to raise them in a healthy, wholesome way? Those are questions that are important, because if you don't know yourself and you don't want to learn how to really parent your kids, and you don't want to learn how to be a good father and mother. Listen, it's not about giving the kids fucking candy all the time, right? It's not about giving them 4th and 5th place trophies. It's about building your child and nurturing your child so they can be a good person, so they can be a high quality individual that will contribute to our society. Nobody wants to talk about that, and some people will get triggered. Some people will be very upset about what I just said. But listen, I speak the truth. A warrior-minded man leads his family, and this is where I'm going to leave this here, okay? There was no leadership there. These kids were loud and noisy and just absolutely bad would be the word that I want to use. And they're drinking, having a great time. 10 people in a table. No leadership. Zero. I'm going to ask you as a father, and I'm speaking to you directly here, you need to step up. You need to be a leader of your family. You need to look at your child, and if he's acting up, if he's whining, if he's being a brat, you need to reel that in and figure out how to change the dynamics in your family, because you're doing a terrible job leading them. Change your mindset, change your ways, and be a stronger father, leader, visionary, someone that can truly raise a child to be a good, solid human being. This is the way of the warrior. Now listen, if you like the warrior lifestyle, if you like what we are about here in this Man of War channel, I'm going to ask you to smash that subscribe button and turn on those notification bells, the little bells that give you that ring when we post content, because we post it very, very often. All right, so what I want you to do is drop some comments below. I want to know what your mindset is on raising children, and what do you do in situations where kids are just bad and they're ruining your meal, or they're ruining everybody's happy time, and they're just cutting into situations that really maybe kids shouldn't even be there. All right, drop some comments below. Let me know what's up.